Anmol Singh is here with us now on Shout Radio. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm smashing. Now, can you just describe to us what it is that you do? Because it's quite interesting work, isn't it?
Yeah, so I trade the stock market for a living. So that's what I do for my profession. And I also wrote a book, Prepping for Success, that has nothing to do with trading. It's more about like my life experiences and what I gathered along the way.
And working in the stock market, is that quite risky? Or do you sort of know what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, with everything in life, you'll have risk, right? I mean, if there's no risk, there's no reward either. So there's always risk, but if you know what you're doing and you have a plan and a strategy of why you're doing it, and it's been tested over time, then it's, one of the best businesses if you really learn how to do it. But it's not easy, that's for sure.
So when you first started out, were you perhaps making a few losses here and there?
Yes, for sure. I think my whole first year of trading, I lost money.
Wow.
It took me about a year to really get that trading is not just buying or selling a stock. That's gambling, right? You need to know the reasons why you're doing it and have a reason behind it. So until I got that, it was a bit back and forth.
Yeah. So why didn't you just give up after a year if all you were doing was losing money?
Because I saw other people doing the exact same thing, learning from the exact same way and making a lot of money. So clearly it was not the strategy or the business, it was me. So I needed to fix myself and my mindset to be able to stick to the strategy too, right?
And all the money that you lost, have you made it back now?
Oh, obviously, yeah. I've been doing this now on my 12th year of trading.
Wow.
And luckily, when I started trading in my first year, I didn't have much money. So what I lost was a very small amount because I didn't have much back then. But yeah, now it's one of the best businesses I've been in.
And in the past 12 years, how has the trading market, if you like, changed?
Markets have definitely got more volatile. It's not the same markets as they used to be. People are just, people are used to buying every time the market goes down a little bit, right? Buy the dip, they say. But it's not that market anymore. It's a very different market, and it's going to be much more harder, much more challenging for people going forward. But that's for people who, I guess, don't know what they're doing. But for traders, it's actually one of the best markets because it's more volatile. There's more opportunity.
So what was it that got you interested in this kind of thing in the first place?
I think, I was in college back then when I started to trade. And to be fair, I was applying for a lot of jobs and didn't get in anywhere. So that was one reason I was looking to find something else that I can do since I was just not able to get it.
Yeah.
So for me, that's kind of why I started looking into it. And then during college, me and my friend, we started a trading and investing society because we noticed all sports had like a club in the college, right?
Yeah.
In the university, clubs for every sport or every little thing. But there was no like entrepreneur society or trader society. We actually started our own, and we just started meeting up a bunch of guys every week and just maybe either reading a book together about the markets or watching like a movie or a TV show, something to do with the stock market to really learn. So that's kind of how it spiked my interest.
Did you ever get judged for that? Because I suppose it could be seen as quite a geeky thing if everyone else is off in the basketball club and you're in the trading club.
I think, at my college, everybody was a bit like, I find that stock market is one of those things that everybody, they might not admit it, but they're all curious. How does it work, right? The stock market, everybody is at some level curious. So I actually didn't find anything bad. People were actually asking me more questions. Oh, how is it? Like, how does it actually work? Can I join in? Like, and I started becoming more popular in college due to that because people had a lot of questions. They wanted to get into that as well.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk about your book as well, Prepping for Success, which, as you mentioned right at the top of the interview, it's not really about markets, is it? It's a completely different idea.
Yeah, so trading, is a lot about mindset than most people think. It's because you're risking a lot of money every single day, and there's a lot of emotions that come into play. So I coach a lot of traders with their mindset, their psychology, and like controlling themselves where they have millions of dollars on the line on a trade, right? So to guide them through that. And that's kind of what came to me, that the concepts that I'm using to teach these traders actually apply to every other area too. Like either you're running your own business, you're an artist, you're a musician, like no matter where you are, like these are universal concepts that apply to life. So it was more of a book that I sort of wrote for myself originally. It was meant to be my own notes of what I need to do to be better. And from the things that I've learned from spending a lot of money on like courses or seminars or workshops So it's more of like notes to myself kind of thing. And eventually I converted it into a book, and people are like, wow, like this is really relatable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been having a good feedback about that.
So, did you find that the notes that you'd written for yourself are pretty universal and work for many people?
Absolutely. The concepts that are covered in the book, and I'll just talk about one of them. It's called integrity. Is basically, it's a very simple concept. And the top of the book, the first page of the book, literally says, there's nothing new here. You probably heard it in some form or the other somewhere else. There's nothing new. It's just a collection of my own thoughts. And the thoughts basically are having integrity, being a person of integrity, doing what you said you were going to do, and then doing it when you said you were going to do it. No questions about it. Like if you just applied that rule to any area of your life, how much better would your life be? Hey, I'm going to start working now Monday, and you actually did.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to start eating at home, or I'm going to start going to eat healthy, and you actually did. Like how much better would your life be if you did exactly what you said you were going to do? So
Yeah.
those are just one of the concepts out of the 10 concepts in the book.
Yeah, there's a lot of politicians that would benefit from this book.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, where can we keep up to date with you and find the book everywhere?
So the book, best place is Amazon or Barnes and Nobles. You could find the book there, or you could go to the website preppingforsuccess.com. But as far as best ways to get in touch with me would be either Instagram or Twitter. My username on both of them is at Delta90. Don't ask me why. I had this username like 20 years ago, and I've never changed it since. But it's at Delta90, DELTANINETY. It's the same on Twitter, same on Instagram. If you want to personally connect, that would be the way to go.
Excellent. Well, many thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.